question. I've been starting to see, in air quotes, this girl over the past 2 weeks. Nothing's happened yet, but we're in the talking phase and things are escalating. During 2 or 3 more flirty exchanges, she's requested a dick pic. I'm not particularly gifted, and for some reason I got nervous and sent her Google images of big dicks. Here's the problem. She's been really, really into it. She said things like, finally, a man's cock, and I'm so glad it's not another tiny dick, and I can't wait to be stuffed with that, and insinuated that she is a size queen and can't really come without a big dick. We're supposed to go out again in a week or 2, and while I'm not micro, I'm certainly incapable of stuffing her. Outside of this, I really like her, and we get along great. What can I do? Thanks, love the pod. And obviously, you know who you're talking to. So, Mark, how do you...
I was about to say, this. I relate a lot to this, man.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely over.
Yeah. I mean, well, first of all, first of all, I'd like to see whatever just like watermarked image of just like a gigantic, huge salami penis he sent.
What is this? If this is real, what are you doing?
You know what you got to do? You got to, the whole time you're on the date, you got to allude to the accident and imply there was some tragic accident that befell you in the past several weeks that, I haven't been able to sit right since the accident, and then, that'll be the penis.
Here's where you go woke on her. You go woke on her. So, trans men, if they don't have a penis yet, they can identify with their strap-on. And it's a faux pas to say it's not their real penis. You say that you're trans huge cock. And you're like, I identify with that huge cock, and you are transphobic and maybe racist if you don't think that's a big black cock.
I think it's done. I think you learn your lesson and you never tell. What's that saying from the that good book?
Learn
Thou
your
shalt
lesson
not
and
tell
kill
a lie.
yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've been reading that book a lot lately, but
if only his cock would grow like Pinocchio's nose every time he lied.
I think here's what I think that borderline without the lie. If a girl was that honest and was like, I have to be stuffed with a big cock, I'd be like, I can't be with you knowing that that's what you want and I'm failing to provide it.
Yeah, that's brutal.
I think you might have accidentally. I think with your lie, you might have sabotaged the entire thing.
I think, honestly, depending on your motive, just try to have sex and,
see if she calls your bluff.
Yeah, either she'll begrudgingly be like, okay, that's fine, and then it'll end, or she'll be like, interesting move.
Yeah.
I respect you. I respect your chess moves.
Just pop all 3 in there and try to make it feel like 8.
Or maybe she'll just still think it's huge. Yeah.
That's what we do. That's the great quote right there.
Actually, put a couple Slurpee slap bracelets on it, widen it out.
Actually, this might be a natural aphrodisiac. Not natural. There's nothing natural.
Natural aphrodisiac.
You plucked it off a flower on the street.
So, yeah, you might, maybe, how, maybe like depends on how big of a penis you sent. Because sometimes, and not to get too vulgar, but if my penis is full...
You've said that so many times.
If my penis is fully going, I'm like, whose dick is this? I don't even recognize it. So maybe you slap one of these on, you get the lighting right, and you try to fake this one. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like the movie Accepted, where they have to fake the full college for the parents or something like that.
Oh,
maybe
yes.
Maybe you're in for a weekend at Bernie situation with your dick to try to make it look big. Now, there's been many times I've also been like, this is hilarious coming from me, just like, have your dick hard the whole time. I've started with that game plan before, and it's sometimes not happening.
Right.
But I just try it.
And that's how parts of women end up in Columbus dumpsters all over the state.
or maybe she has been dealing with micro dicks. And when she sees you, she's going to be like, great.
Fantastic, actually.
So just don't even mention it.
I got
Keep
bad
plowing.
news. This is a classic case of little dick, big problem. Get one of those cock extenders, those dildos
the
you can
pills?
slide over your penis. That
Are those you wear it like
you
skin?
could put your penis inside of a cock. Be like, I got good news and bad news.
You know what?
What do you want first? The bad news is my shaft is only 2.5 inches rock hard. The good news is I can add another penis on top of it.
I don't think I could do it.
You know what you could also do?
What's that?
Is that you could be like, I'm really into gigantic vaginas. And then kind of like put it on her. So now she's not getting what you want. You're not getting her want with her type of vagina.
Yeah.
Like I like aircraft
Huge
hangers. I like to
pussies,
not
yeah.
just giant
I want
caverns.
Wilbur Wright landing a plane in that thing.
Big old, I mean, just absolutely, you could stuff a Pringles can in there. And it
I
wouldn't
feel like
touch the
that's what
wall.
he's got to be dealing with because she's already asked. She's already.
If she's like,
I need like if she sees if you Google image. One of you guys want to hit the Google image, big dick, just see what comes up, so we have a reference for what you want to
got
hit.
an idea.
Yeah, you got a
Some
general
gigantic
idea.
penis.
Yeah, let's see.
Well, like-
Because Eric needs to figure out what comes up when you Google. Anyone just want to look that up just to see like what
Just for
happens?
visual reference, can we?
Well, I want to know how deep the lie is, literally. Is it 7 inches
Well,
deep?
what I'm wondering
9
is
inches deep?
wait, are we looking at big penis?
we're googling big dick.
No, I'm gonna Google big penis.
Google image, I imagine.
Whoa.
If
On
he's-
Google image.
Goes to X video.
Mark goes, whoa, first image is Mark McPartland.
What's the question?
Well, first
Well,
of
the
all, what
question
comes
is what
up
to do.
is
Aw.
it's just a picture of a dildo floating in space.
This is a-
So that could be good because maybe she's not.
I say dildos are too big these days.
Oh, this guy's got
Call
the
me
world's biggest
old-fashioned.
penis.
Call me old-fashioned.
Oh, I
Wow.
know about him. Is it the Indian man who has weights attached to it?
There is a Mexican man, and he's wearing what looks to be a sombrero. His name is Roberto Esquives, and this thing is a
He's wearing a
I
sombrero?
mean, yeah. Well, actually, no. It's a sort of a sun hat. It's basically like a baseball bat.
Oh, I've
That's
seen that picture
amazing.
before.
I mean, tough to get around penis.
Now, it would be really funny if he said that.
with the guy.
It's just some guy who looks like you or me, and they say send it pics. And you send the Mexican man with the biggest penis. He's got a bandage around it.
Well, this is interesting. This man has a huge penis and black breasts. So, which one did you buy, or what's going on? That is very confusing.
Whoa, this thing soft is insane. So here's a crazy.
Yeah, we're just looking at hard cocks. I just fall silent.
Yeah.
shit.
The crazy thing about this is that Roberto claims to have the largest penis in the world. So he's throwing it on the table, saying I've got the biggest one. But Guinness World Records is not buying it, which means they do accept those. They do have an inbox
yeah.
open for you to send them dick pics.
Yeah, who
and
has
see,
the
like-
largest penis? I thought it was a fellow named John Falcon.
Yeah, John. I think he's got the largest natural penis. I think there's a man in India or a guy like this. I think the people like attach weights and stretch them out.
There's a German guy who got plastic surgery stuff,
Yeah.
like silicone injections, and he got like a 15-incher.
Maybe they
Length?
put an asterisk for those.
I
think
thought you
girth.
couldn't. I thought you could not lengthen your penis. I thought that
I
was,
got no clue.
I thought that was a medical
Well, there's
anomaly.
people who have died from those surgeries. I know, big dick surgery.
Yeah, this guy when you type in world's largest penis, this Mexican man is really getting a lot of the searches. This is just a guy.
Well, he's better at marketing.
Wow.
The bandage one has got to be fake because the bandage is hiding.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
it
bandage
all-
has got to be hiding some sort of.
No.
It all
Splice.
comes back.
It's
It all
hiding
comes
a
back to
splice.
Ohio. when you
Is
say,
that
when
wood
you search
carving?
big
Yeah.
dick surgery, the Cleveland Clinic comes up. So we got to go back to Ohio.
We gotta go back to
everyone.
Ohio,
Oh,
Mark.
back to Ohio.
You just the problem is we're gonna go in there for the surgery and then we're gonna get out and they're like, we took out all of your top teeth. That's just gonna
Whoa. There's a picture of a boy with 11-pound testicles.
Good God.
Look
It's
at
Steve
that.
Raines.
Holy hell.
So, anyways, a young man who asked this question, I honestly think the best option is just to go trans the other way and be like, actually, I'm transitioning to a woman. Actually, go through with it. Remove your penis. Be like, it was huge. It was huge.
What would you guys do? Let's like take the guy out of the question. Let's say you went on like 2 or 3 dates with a girl and you were like infatuated. You see eye to eye on everything. She's a great lady. She gets your humor. And then just offhand, she mentions like I only enjoy sex if I'm like deeply, deeply stuffed to the gills with like so much fat cock that I can't hear. Like, are you like, well, we'll figure out a way to make this work. I'll buy a dildo, or are you like, I'm sorry, please run free, sweet child, and find what you need. I'm moving on.
Can you elaborate?
yeah. You don't
how fat?
¿Qué pasa?
And how, ¿Qué pasó?
No English.
I got like 5 inches.
No English. Paprika, coriander. I thought you were a lady.
22.
He's good.
I think the only thing to do is be like, all right, well, you're in luck. And then either she's disappointed, like a lot of women are, or she's not, you know? You got to keep bluffing.
I'd be worried about that coming up that early on.
I would rather it come up early on. I'd rather it come up
early on. I'm in day 2, and she's like, oh, I want to get fucking stuffed up with a log of pork.
Let's say that it's like the first time that you're having.
This
Let's say it's the first time you're having dirty talk. The first time you're getting like sexual over the phone. And she's like, this is what turns me on is like big dick porn.
Maybe you could have sex and then afterwards be like, are you willing to settle for that?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
But like if she said yes, would you be like, well, okay, I'll take you at your word?
Or would you feel like
from the inside, would it eat you up?
Relationship,
Yes,
that would probably be very difficult to the whole time. Every time she's on your phone, he's looking up that Mexican guy. The huge dick.
Or you would know that she's previously been just
I think you have to assume that even if she hasn't been, then she's at least been like squatting on a baseball bat or something. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, she's putting something up there.
Yes,
but that's most women in the modern world, you know,
putting heavy.
Well, that opens up even a deeper
python, an
even deeper level of questioning, which is like, to what level of depravity do you think most women hover at? Do you think deep down most women are what this woman is? They just don't say it. Or do you think most women?
I think most women
probably like they want to be like violently stuffed and cum comes out of their nose and it's.
I dated some real.
Mark's like probably. I hope so. Otherwise, I might have a suit coming out of Columbus looking for me.
I did some real whores, and when it comes down to it, there is a limit to how big a penis should be. There was a guy named Horsecock Eddie my ex slept with, and
is that a real story?
And she didn't like Horsecock Eddie.
Yeah,
it was too big.
Yeah, it does too. I've heard that it hits the cervix.
Yeah,
which is something that I heard that you can't unhear.
But it is cool to hit the cervix like a couple.
I heard it over the meowing of a local cat. You're hitting the cervix. I don't know what that means. I'm Beetlejuice.
Oh, I've never heard that. I've never heard someone say that about me, but I've heard someone be like, it hits the back wall, and then I was like, how is that just something that you know from looking that up, or is that?
I've heard people say
what
too
textbook
big.
Did you look that up in?
That's crazy.
I've heard people say too big. It's not fun anymore. But then I'm like, I feel like you're only saying that because.
Yeah. It probably isn't, but it's just like, if we can get into deep talk, it's very tough to untangle the idea that like the problem is like that guy on my phone, that's got to be a nightmare to have that penis. It must be uncomfortable.
Right.
He can't have sex with it. It's too big. It's like the width of that. But the problem is if the fairy godparents came down and were like, have a wish, I would still for some reason.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and not to do bits on the pod, but that was an old bit of mine, which is like when girls are like, no, we don't want to have that big of a dick. It hurts. I'm like, you don't understand. We want to hurt you.
Have that.
Oh yeah, when I've had to stop sex because it was the best feeling. Way better. Wait, what?
What was this?
What was this?
That's just happened in my career.
God, I knew it.
Holy cow.
Everyone averts eye contact. Yeah.
Damn. You better stay away from Columbus.
Yeah, you better stay away from our sweet.
Yeah, I will.
Was that a question, or did you just read that out of your notes?
Yeah. It's my friend texted me this. But have you never had to stop just because things are uncomfortable for the girl, and you at least pretend that it's because your dick is huge?
Yes, yeah. There's certain positions where it's like it's bumping up against
and you're like,
your sore
you can't
spot.
fucking handle it.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, you got to have a little bit of mythology about your own sexual performance, you know?
Damn right.
Like, that's why, maybe that's why we don't show each other our penises. We could change that all tonight.
We
in
could.
this abandoned coffee shop.
Maybe one way. You know, like how the Red Hot Chili Peppers will put like a sock on their penis, throw up
Yeah.
a little Slurpee to cover it.
Don't stop.
Mhm.
Get to the chin thing. Bump, bump, dum, 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 dum.
So what's his question ultimately? What should I do now that I've lied?
Yeah.
What should I do now that and I think just keep pretending you have a big dick,
Yeah.
and then she's either going to say something or not. And if you have a real relationship, eventually you'll just have to tell her, yeah, I lied because I like you and I got nervous.
Yeah.
Would you deal with twice the man, half the cock and twice the man?
There we go. Well
Could you live with
practiced, Steve. That's engraved in your wife's wedding ring, right on the inside.
I say if you're weak, just let it. You learned your lesson. If this is I would say.
Oh, definitely you have to have learned your lesson.
You've
Don't-
mined too deep. The dwarves mined too greedily and too deep, and they awoke an ancient evil, which is a girl's deep secret lust for giant penis.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I've never... Because there must be people, who just crave a giant... Because I think at a certain point, there are people who are fetishists who, like, want to be hurt by a giant penis, right?
Some people want to eat doo-doo.
Some people want to eat dude.
That's what you should say when she
Yeah.
goes, man, I want a man with I want a man with a man's penis. You go, some people want to eat shit.
Were you lying about
fucking
how big your dick is? Some people eat poop. So, really, who's to say? What?
Look, I mean, you can be as wacky as you want to be.
The point is, I got 5 inches and a good attitude.
Now I can piss on you, punch you. Now,
Yeah. How about half the cock, twice the punch?
The cock twice the punch.
You think you're gonna hit me? Why are you talking like that? I've always talked like this.
Just going into your wallet, she thinks you're pulling out a condom. You just pull out brass knuckles. Just be like, you're in for
Yeah.
the treat of your goddamn life.
Espresso martini. Yeah, I don't know. That's isn't it. If that person actually got themselves in that situation, I mean, really, just it's like you're trying to make yourself kill yourself. Like the moment you're gonna have where all of that comes out is gonna destroy you.
Yeah, that's going to make... The thing about that happening, if that does happen to somebody, is that, like, that sets your bar for life. Like, you can't unhave the experience of somebody being like, my standard is above you. And then for the rest of all your other relationships are going to be like...
And this is
tainted
a
with
man
that.
who already couldn't send a picture of his dick or just not send a picture. This person has not good self-esteem.
Yeah.
So after this
Yeah.
moment, I mean, honestly, it's...
It seems like you would have to be like, you're going to have to see that in person and then lie. You know, like...
exactly. Yeah, it's all
Like
you
at the
get.
steak fair when they kind of show you, like, come and pay a $2 and you
To
can
see the one-eyed lady.
lady. And then you just kind of... It's just a stuffed doll. You're going to have to do that. You're going to have to already have her $2. And then show her your small penis.
you better hang a funhouse mirror up.
Oh, that's a wacky situation.
We got another one here, sort of in the same category of women and what they want. I own and operate a small restaurant in the Northeast. I'm in there 6 days a week and love my work for the most part. My wife mans the front most of the time while I cook. Recently, I noticed 2 to 3 return customers who seem to be mostly in it to see my wife, and one even left his number on the receipt. My wife has never indicated any interest back. The money is good for the business, but it still bugs me. Help a brother out. Half the cock, twice the punch. Boom, boom. So basically, this guy, how to deal with customers who have a crush on your wife.
That's fascinating.
That is fascinating. That is good for business. I'd say, get her picture, put it on the door.
I feel like this is a perpetual problem, though, is all the time, I feel like I interact with I have a girlfriend or I have a girlfriend at some point,
Quit, Brad.
there's men around who are trying to have sex with her often in front of you.
Yeah.
Maybe strangers, maybe classmates or something. But it's so common, and at a certain point, I feel like you have to be like, I don't think she's going to have sex with him, and he totally wants to, but I hope that she doesn't. Like, is there, what else do you guys think there is to do about that?
Well, I mean, like, you fundamentally kind of have to do that to be in a relationship. You got to be
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I trust you that you're not going to fuck other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you.
I mean, it sounds like he
that, I
knows
guess.
it. I think it's just still internally bothering him.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Where are you going?
This might be a classic. Oh, he's hitting getting the water.
I think the one thing about this kind of situation that bothers me is if my girlfriend is like, no, he doesn't want to have sex with me. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yes. It's like, no, I'm just getting lunch with him. He doesn't want to have women are so insane like that. It's like, my girlfriend like, no, he just memorized my Potbelly order and gives me free sandwiches. Really? Are you that interesting? You're not. You're not a good friend. What's his name if you're friends?
I love you, and I rarely buy you Potbelly.
Yeah. You whore. You sandwich whore.
Oh.
Yeah, I would. Well, as long as it stays in the business relationship. I mean, leaving the number is weird, but maybe like as part of being, front of house customer facing is that you got to flirt a lot.
Yeah, Paprika ran into that
She ran into
two
a
customers
wall,
in a row.
and she was barely even above. Actually, just basic polite to us. I don't even,
No,
just
she
had
made
those-
some good eye contact with me.
She just had those great eyes.
Yeah.
Well, I was
She
in the
could tell.
ultimate of this. I've dated 2 strippers.
You have been in the ultimate of this.
You blast us with random hairy facts.
Yes.
That's
like
incredible.
they come out of nowhere.
I lived
2
in
strippers
Portland.
separately?
Yes, separately.
Wow.
He's dated 2 strippers.
I lived in Portland. Portland's like the stripper capital of America. Most
Yeah.
strippers
What?
per
Oregon.
capita.
Oregon.
They're sea strippers.
So
out
they
there.
would go to work and then just make guys bust in their pants.
Really?
And I just had to be like, well, she likes me.
What's good for the
Yeah.
goose is good for the gander.
Yeah, it's like
How did
she
you
paid
meet
for
him?
McDonald's, so that is really and that felt cool. Guys
Yeah.
pay you to pay me McDonald's. So
There could be a
But
bit of
that's
just
hard.
like she's coming home to me kind of thing. That could
that's
go.
what you got to have.
I think that's a classic lie guys tell themselves.
Yeah.
Well, that's you can't do like that. We were talking about like the Adam 22 guy, where it's like
Yeah.
she's a porn star. That's a little bit like
a hot
she's-
wife situation.
No, but like if she's like actually doing porn or something, it's a little bit tough to be like she's coming home to me, but it's
She's coming out with a limp.
You
I
have to be like,
but-
she likes me, though. Not
Yeah.
even like I'm making her come. It's just such an extreme. It's like, but she likes the way that we watch Netflix.
she.
Is she watching Netflix with Johnny Sins? I don't think so.
I can't imagine she is. She didn't have time. What with all that dick in her guts?
Yeah, I don't even know if there's anything to do because when I couldn't tell my girlfriends not to strip because we're just individual people.
That's the job.
So that was just what they were. That's the job. So
That's the
that's
job.
just what they were gonna do. So I
Yeah.
don't know what you tell your wife or like what to do.
Wait. So maybe I missed this. They just work at a restaurant.
They
yeah.
both- yeah. And
He owns a
customers-
restaurant where he cooks and his wife is at the
Oh.
front, I guess it sounds
Yeah.
like.
Well, that's like as long as you're pretty like she's not being like, oh my God, why we're just work, whatever.
It sounds like it's all above board. I think he's just
Yeah.
insecure about it.
Yeah. And I think you're just gonna be insecure.
you're just gonna be insecure about.
Are
it.
you, now, is it fair to ask your wife in that situation? Can you ask for reassurance or camaraderie or something? Be like, hey, I know we can't afford to turn away customers. You're getting numbers. Like, I know you're not flirting with them or whatever, but would you mind like
Putting on a hijab.
yeah. Whole niqab all the way down. I want you to look like a transformer under there.
We're gonna change the genre of the food we're selling.
I want
here.
you
we're
look
gonna
like
focus a little
James
bit more on
Bond geisha.
hummus?
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna start serving a lot more tabbouleh. I'll tell you that much.
She comes into work. There's just a touch screen where the cashier thing used to be. We've gone a different direction.
Yeah. Check out my new girlfriend.
It's all online.
Yeah,
I think you could
check in.
Yeah, you can tell your wife, like, it just makes me sad or something. I don't know. Or whatever the feeling is, jealous.
Yeah, and if your wife is a compassionate person, she'll be like, I get it, you know?
I get it. These are hot customers.
I get it. I want to text him. He told me that he's number 2 in dick size to Johnny Falcon. He said, "Hola, mi soy nombre tubre."
That's gonna be. We should have Chris Grieco make a "Get Over It" graphic that we can drop on the. This is a classic case of Turnip and Stone. Get over it.
I think you just have to talk to your wife,
Yeah.
or because what I do is I will just resent my girlfriend and not bring things up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I
Yeah,
got.
that's
The
the move.
classic.
Give me a little bit of
There
that.
we go.
Classic move.
That's the move.
That's the move.
Just to silently hate her.
Yeah.
Based on a conversation you're too scared to have.
Yeah.
So you could try that. You've probably already tried that if you're asking this podcast.
Oh, he's probably taken an absolute vow of silence for a long time. But
Mm.
maybe
A lot of
go a
people
little
getting
bit more.
overcooked steaks.
I was gonna say he's spitting in some hash browns.
He's doing some
Got the
ketchup
meat
frowny
cleaver.
faces on
Yeah.
there for sure.
Wait, he was about to what?
I completely forgot what I was gonna say. He's about to.
He said put ketchup frowny faces on.
No, I felt like I cut him
I
off.
did
I'm trying to
feel
be
like I
better
had-
about my. I don't want to interject as often. Catching myself.
Maybe they'll put up a "Don't interject so often" graphic. You know what I mean?
What?
I said, this is time for Chris Grieco to put up an interjection graphic or something like this. 'Cause I genuinely had nothing. A lot of times I'm about to say something that I don't think is that good, and then someone will come in with a quip. And it's like, ooh, it's like when you when you fumble the football and someone picks it up that's on your team. You're like, thank God. So this is kind of an assist in a little bit of a ways.
Let's all stare at Mark until he says something really witty.
Oh, God. We don't have that much time on the recording.
But honestly, yeah, I guess just talk to your wife and don't hate her, or hate her a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or just silently build up that grudge and just constantly project a vibe like something's wrong. But then if
Mhm.
she were to be like, what's wrong? Don't tell her because you think that would make her worse if she wouldn't
Mhm.
get it. And then blame her for not being a
Honey?
mind reader and let
Honey?
it go on for years. And then tell us what happens at
Honey?
the end 'cause I haven't gotten to that point yet.
Honey, you're a whore.
You're a whore.
Yeah, just lash out, call her a whore, overcook everyone's meal who orders there, lose the business, lose your wife.
cooking for every cock in town.
Yeah.
You want me to hold his dick for you too? I whipped up a little potatoes au gratin for your fucking lover.
Cooked all right?
She just looks over. He wants extra meat on his and you just hear plates crash in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Is that all he fucking wants?
Have it his way, I guess. God.
This is actually a McDonald's. Have it your way then.
They franchised a McDonald's.
This is just an insane man who's not married to the cashier register later. He's just writing about her.
We're common law married because we spend 8 hours a day together.
Yeah.
I feel like
We're common
What if it's one of
radiator
the-
married because she's chained to mine.
It's like a 50-year-old Korean couple who just immigrated here and started a small great dragon in a strip mall. Oh, I see him.
these are just people that are coming up, just being like, "Hey, that's right. I was just in here yesterday. I recognize your face." And he's just
Shuriken.
blow dart.
What else we got? We got any more?
We got one more question. We got one more. So far, get over it and don't send
Don't lie
fake
about
black
your
dicks. Question number 3. My roommate, it's a very horny day on the podcast. My roommate is turning 40 and asked if he could have strippers over. Very rough sentence. He's single, depressed.
It's a really rough sentence.
That's very tough.
He's single, depressed, and parties pretty hard. I don't want to deny the man a fun time on his birthday, but his antics usually keep me up late if he really gets going. Can I politely try and move the event, even if it's as big as the 40th B-Day? This is... I'm sorry for everyone involved.
Yeah,
The
I'm
stripper,
sorry
the
for the-
40-year-old, this man.
Ooh, I gotta pee too real quick.
I feel like you have the right to not have strippers in your home.
Yeah.
I dated one. I chose that. I brought him home.
I feel like for the big 4-0 though, maybe you put in some earbuds and let the boy trash your place and you probably won't. The thing is that this will be so depressing that you probably won't have to deal with it afterwards because he might kill himself.
He might kill himself.
There's a very big possibility that after Cinnamon buffs his advances as she's paying her out, he might go jump off the back. I'm assuming you're on the 5th floor of some sort of apartment building for this man.
He's going to try to jump off the window of the garden unit and just hit his head into the floor.
Just drown in a pool of his own tears.
I know you did for a 40th.
Try
You
to
do
move
sort of
it.
have to let it happen, don't you?
Yeah, for the big 4-0. I mean, I guess it's only one night, and if he's having it like on a weekend or something like that, I would definitely politely suggest moving it though. I would for sure.
So what did he said he's not sure about having him in the house?
He's not sure. He doesn't want to stay up all night because of this loud stripper birthday party.
Yeah,
but honestly, maybe sleep somewhere else.
Yeah, he needs to vacate.
Yeah, maybe let it be.
Wash his hands.
I wonder how old are you? Are you 60? Is that why you want to go to bed early?
Right.
You even younger?
Yeah, 40
older.
with roommates is also tough.
Yeah, 40 with room. And and that's another thing is like, let this guy have what he wants.
How much does it cost to have strippers come to a private party?
Depends what kind of strippers, I guess.
That's a great question. You think you could for $200?
Oh,
you
yeah.
could get one, maybe.
You get one for 200?
I think you could get I think so, yeah. Because lap dances are as little as, well, they can be like $40 for like a song. So
you got to be able to
know
get one for like an hour.
That's interesting. I have someone in North Carolina has a bit about it, but like the prices to have sex with a prostitute are not as budget breaking as you would think they would be.
Yeah, we talked about that on the cast one day.
No.
Harry looked it up. It was like $40 to get fucked or something like
Yeah,
that.
Holy hell.
Mark just scrambles out of here.
Oh,
gotta go, fellas.
that $75 from Don't Tell Columbus has been burning a hole in my pocket, and I'm going to stick my dick through that hole.
I got fleeced by a prostitute in Amsterdam.
Damn it.
Holy cow.
It was like, I think I ended up paying like $300, $400.
Did she
What'd
do
you
anything?
get?
I had sex with
Oh,
just
that's nice.
the meanest lady, and I was so drunk.
Was she?
Really?
Did you want her to be mean? Was that part
Yes, I picked the
Yeah.
meanest looking lady. Yep.
Assuming she looked like Wario.
Didn't take
of
off her
everything
shirt.
everything that we say? Harry's got some crazy. Like, this guy wants strippers. I mean, one time I got taken for a ride by a prostitute.
Yeah.
in Amsterdam.
I usually don't volunteer that information, but I feel like might as well keep going.
I was like, that would be interesting if I was. The thing is, like, my mom wants to go to Amsterdam. And
Why?
Oh, yeah.
my newly single mom wants to go to Amsterdam.
I saw
and
her
I'm-
there. She's the mean one.
God
right?
damn it. I'm going to go throw her passport in a
We
fire.
had to stop because I'm too big.
I feel like if I was over there, I would be like, I would want to get away where she's trying to go to the, whatever, like the King's Palace or see King Leopold's pile of hands or whatever is in Amsterdam. And I would want to be, I don't think that's in Amsterdam, but it's in Belgium. But
It's
Yeah, that
also-
reference, I did not
For some
catch on
reason,
to
you
that.
named it like it was like a fast food restaurant. You're like, welcome into King Leopold's
Leopold
pile of
pile of
hands. What can I get you?
I feel like I would want to go to the red light district and probably just
Yeah.
I would do it like maybe I'd just be sheepish and not they'd just see me outside just being like, you want to go to a comedy show, and then just run away all nervous.
Oh, I had the same thing because I went to Vegas when I was 18 with my mother because my
Yeah.
brother had a fight there. Like he was in a tournament, and there was just my brother's a Chinese warlord. He was in a boxing tournament, and so me and my mom went there, and we shared a hotel room. And in Vegas, they're like baseball cards. There's just little cards with pictures of women and like $20. And like the hottest, I know she's not the one who shows up when you call, but they're just scattered everywhere. And I'm like 18, so horny. I'm like, God, I wish I could have, but
Yeah, that's the problem. You
I'll
gotta
just
tell
fuck
mom.
mom.
You gotta just do something like, Mom, I'm sorry, I'm there is like you would hate this, but there's an indoor dark roller coaster, and I know how much
Yeah.
you hate roller coasters, so I was gonna maybe go over there. I'll call you. And meanwhile, I'm going outside of Clark County to the brothel to have a very
Yeah.
traumatizing experience.
Yeah. With a 75-year-old woman.
I have a friend that did that, who I won't dox on the podcast, but he went to a foreign country to do this, and he said that like they said that she spoke English, but they got there and this lady really did not speak English, so they were having to use a lot of American Sign Language to be like, this hurts, I go in now, and I guess. I don't know. Maybe she only knew like stop and go, or maybe they didn't teach her stop.
And if you don't know stop, honestly, you don't really need go.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Red Rover, Red Rover.
So what was your guys' advice about the thing while I was peeing?
What were we talking about?
Strippers.
The strippers coming
Oh,
over.
yeah.
40-year-old.
I was saying that for the 40th, maybe.
You gotta let
We
it
were
go
saying
around.
vacate, maybe
Honestly,
vacate the
even
house.
If it was 39th, I would be a little, but for big 40, maybe just let him go.
If it's what he
Another
wants.
classic turnip and stone.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Yeah, man, yeah. But I mean,
You guys
this
should have a thing like an auto reply.
Yeah.
just deal with it whenever you send something to the inbox.
either way. How about this? Either way, have people over. Either let the stripper come over, or let him think that an intervention. This man sounds like he's on the edge of disaster. So a party either way.
Maybe throw an
Have the
intervention.
I mean, could
One
you
night.
be like, what if we went out and I'll get you a hotel room for the night or something? It's like, I guess you got to run the value proposition of like, how much do you not want strippers in your
I would be
shared
like,
space?
I'll go get a hotel for the night because you got to get him a hotel room that's big enough to house these big cheap strippers that he's getting for the 40.
Yeah.
Well, my fear was like more the. I guess I didn't even
Double-door
think about it
hotel
until
room?
I started thinking about it.
Having
But
your
like-
shit in there, being
you
like
just not
"Ah."
wanting a stripper in there after everyone's gone to bed to like
I mean-
steal your
I mean-
TV or whatever.
No.
That's
yeah.
very valid. That's very valid. If you don't trust this guy, then yeah.
Cardi B says she used to steal stuff from people.
Yeah, she's a role model. So think about what strippers today are doing.
I used to steal stuff when I watched people's houses, you know?
Really?
Really?
Yeah, small things like chargers and
This whole
virginity.
podcast should just be asking you about your life. There's,
Yeah.
there's a man to unravel here.
I know. I'm just feeling too brave. Shouldn't admit to so many crimes. But yeah, I would totally expect a horde.
You know what you got to do? You got to leave out fake money. So she'll take that.
Speaking
then-
of fake money, sorry to cut you off. I was walking in Wrigley on Saturday, and this guy hanging out of a patio. It was chaos in Wrigley on Saturday night.
Why were you walking through it?
I was going to a mic,
Gotcha.
and hangs out over the patio. Has like I thought he was gonna give me a handshake, and I got ready to slap his hand. Has a $100 bill, 2 dollops of shit on it. On the
Dollars of
bill.
shit?
Like he wiped
What?
his ass with a
Like there
$100
wa-
bill?
Like there was shit on the money, and he was trying to like get someone to take it to get shit on their hand.
I would take it.
Oh.
That's where I'm at right now.
Oh, I would have taken that.
It looked
I would
like
take it
2
with my mouth.
clear lumps of shit.
Lumps of, but it's only dollar bill size, so they got to be
Yeah,
small.
well, how did you know?
It looked like 2 dollops of shit on there.
Do you think he was
Whoa, wait,
TikToking?
how
This was a very fast process.
Now this is interesting because my girlfriend recently called me. She was walking down the street and she saw a $50 bill in between 2 cars, and she said, "Will you come, like, pick it up with a glove? Because I've heard of like cartels putting skin absorbent, whatever, human trafficking people putting shit on big bills and leaving them around. You touch it, and it's essentially like a
They knock
quaalude.
you out?
Yeah,
I
Are
found
they
100
Holy
Whoa.
just doing, like-
fuck.
I wonder if that's what the guy was doing.
I've never heard of that.
I got no idea if it's true or
Damn, that's
not.
crazy. I
It
found
could
out-
be a fear. It could just be a fear, but
Yeah.
I did find a $100
I did-
bill in Pilsen on the ground in front of a school, and I
And
took
then I
it.
did black out for 2 days. And
Yeah.
then woke up in a bathtub.
Woke up
And
with
I
a
did have my
gigantic
first
scar
period
here.
at my asshole.
So, like, was he holding it flat? How,
He was like holding it like this.
Yeah.
He's like,
So
Yeah.
no one was recording. He's just an insane person.
he was like with a bunch of like drunk Cubs fan dudes.
So it's
And
probably.
I was like, I'm like walking like this. This hand is out like this, and I was gonna like smack his hand.
yeah.
That's
and
how
I
nice
looked,
you
and I was
are.
like, there was a money in it. I'm like, And that was jarring. And then I looked, and there was like 2 dollops of what appeared to be shit on there.
That's got to be a Spencer's gift, right?
Yeah, something like that.
It looked like a prank, man. You've never
Yeah.
seen that of someone like putting shit on money and putting it on the ground?
I've never even heard of it before until this exact
A
moment. I didn't even
doo-doo
hear
bill.
about the cartels that are doing Ashton Kutcher pranked things.
I did not hear about.
I definitely
Cartel
haven't heard of
thing
somebody
seems-
holding shit-covered money in their own hand. at a
No,
bar.
I'm saying like putting like shit on money and then putting it down and filming it from afar.
Yes, yeah, I've
And
heard
then
of
someone's
that,
like, "Oh
I
shit,"
think.
and they put it in their pocket, and then they're like,
Yeah, but
They
I've
got
never heard of a
doo-doo.
guy putting shit onto a $100 bill and trying to with his
Yeah.
hand give
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, you're already holding the shit.
"That was
Yeah.
crazy." He was positioning it almost like cocktail appetizers, but with like money and 2 little turds in there.
And you're such a nice guy that you were just gonna shake his hand because it was out.
I
You
was
didn't
just
even
gonna,
see them
I was
do
gonna
it.
smack his hand.
Now, did
yeah.
it look like he wiped his ass with the $100 bill and there was like a smear? of
No,
shit
it
on
almost looked like the 2 dollops, like he used a baster or something, and just like
So
Something doesn't
strange.
add up. I can't picture
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, the dollop is. It
How
appears
do you
like
get
shits-
the dollops on the
shits
$100
that
bill?
it almost looked like he put a thing down and like squat and like hit it twice.
But wouldn't that be way too big to be on
But
a $100
maybe-
bill?
Maybe a dollop. I'm
It-
picturing like
they're
the
like-
shit emoji, but
Yeah.
this must
Like
have been,
this.
It must
like,
have been fake poop that comes out in some sort of squeezable thing. We'll have to go
That's
back.
what
there.
I'm thinking. It
Yeah.
seems very unnatural.
Yeah.
Ugh, I hate drunk men and their pranks. Drunk man pranks are the meanest. The meanest.
I don't know what you were talking about. Something money wise, isn't it?
I was talking about I've never seen them do the cartel thing.
And then we're talking about putting out fake money so that
Oh,
the
yeah.
stripper steals
Yeah.
the
Oh yeah,
fake
no, that was
money.
the way. Like
Is
you
it-
got to leave out a fake money and a fake diamond watch or something, so the stripper will be like, haha, and then you have all your wares secretly, like in a
Yeah.
Brinks
Yeah.
safe.
Does
I
this
guess
man
if you
have a
locked your
friend?
door, you could go sleep somewhere else. If you put all your shit in your room,
Mm-hmm.
locked your door with a key or whatever.
It is still unsettling to just have random people in a
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Like, well, you're gonna have a bunch of fucking people over here. I don't know.
And strippers.
You have the right to object. You have
Yeah.
the right to go to the strip club.
Yeah.
You're
Come
40
back
years
with
old.
a stripper if you want, but don't keep me up with strippers here.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
bring
go to the
back one.
club. Yeah.
But Mark makes a good point. It's 40th.
Big 40.
Big 4
over the hill.
How about compromise daytime stripper? 11 a.m. stripper. She'll be
That's-
cheaper because those are not the hours she's demanded. You'll tire yourself out by 5 p.m. Keep an eye on her. Everyone stays awake.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Try
gonna
and
And then,
kick
she,
it off
then she
early.
goes back home to my house. And I'm like, yeah, she wants to be here.
A matinee.
Early night tonight, babe.
A matinee tit job.
man.
That sounds like a good band name.
I'm gonna be 40 in 11 years. And on that note,
On
wait,
that note.
I mean that's a like we
Depressing.
still have strippers
Yeah.
or something like
If your
that.
roommate lets you.
If my roommate lets
if
me.
Eric,
He better fucking
This is
let
your
me.
40th birthday in Columbus, Ohio, in the Wyndham, and
In the
Eric is writing into his own podcast from the future to ask if he can tell you not
it's
to
not-
have paprika coriander over.
Oh no! I
Oh,
would die
if it
before I
was
let
for-
Mark lay a finger on paprika coriander.
If I said
I would have
if I
FOMO.
said
Just kidding,
uh,
that's retarded.
Paprika's coming over though, not even like for both of like we're just hanging out with her.
Yeah.
That'd be all right.
Here's an interesting question. I'll pose it. It's in the context of me and Mark, but I'll throw it around the
Interesting.
horn. Let's say me and Mark were in Ohio, and Paprika's like, "Hey, I'll leave this coffee shop and come fuck both of you," and then after that, she wants to date you.
Dating me?
Yeah, or me, because the question will
Oh,
go to
like-
every. Could you date a girl that you fucked with your good buddy that you're gonna continue to be buddies with?
Whew. What a great question.
Not if
No, because it would
yeah.
feel like you're dating her the whole time too. If you're like, how's it going with her? It's like, damn, I have a memory of you, like teabagging her
In
mouth.
her.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would have to feel like our relationship was real special, me and Paprika. If I thought it was just like whatever and I'm the available one, then I would be so threatened it would destroy both relationships.
No, I
Yeah.
mean, but what if she was like she's coming to you in good faith, and she's saying, I mean, like, man, that was a crazy night. I loved banging you and your buddy, but like, the next day you were the one who took me out for coffee, and I feel really close to you.
I think date her and then go back to restaurant cook guy, start to hate your wife and never bring it. I think that's honestly what I would do is I would be like, well, I love you, but you're a whore. Even though I agreed to that act we did.
Yeah, and then you just are silently mad at her for the entire relationship.
I think I could do it.
What would you say? What's your thing?
Yeah.
I mean, Paprika's clearly a special case.
I know. I mean, Paprika's a good one for absolute.
She's really making me push this to the limits.
Yeah, but she agreed to have sex with both of you, and then so she did it.
So she is cool.
Yeah.
She's very cool. She's a hanger.
But she goes,
can hang.
like,
Honestly,
man, like I was young, I was going crazy. It was like a fun night, but like I'm ready to settle down, and I felt like I had a real connection with you.
No, honestly, like, what if you like? This is something that happens all the time. If you're dating a girl that was previously with one of your friends, and that causes a bit of jealousy, a bit of I can't this, and that's almost, in some ways, even worse because
I would say it's worse because you don't know what they did.
yeah.
I would rather date a girl I banged with my friend than
Yeah.
a girl who banged one of my friends for an extented period of time without
100%.
me.
Exactly.
That being said, I don't think I'd ever go anywhere near any of those whores. They all seem like demon creatures.
You better
The
not.
whores are the coolest ones, though.
They really are.
Of course they are.
They're
They're
so
the
great.
coolest.
But coolest is not going to keep the lights on.
Motorcycles
Coolest don't
are-
pay the bills, Harry.
Yeah.
Motorcycles are cool, but
Coolest
they'll
does.
paralyze you.
Yeah, you know what's cool? Cocaine. But guess what? It comes to an end. Everything comes to an end.
What's cool is $100 bill, but sometimes it's got
Shit
$2
on
of
it.
shit
Shit
on
on
it.
it.
That's
Shit
right.
on it.
That is right. A little bit of ketamine.
Steve, could you do it? If you and I double teamed a chick and then later she was like, let's say a month later, she's like, man, you know what? That was a good time, but I really had fun with you.
Yeah. That's usually how I test out
And Steve would be like,
relationships.
yeah, you're my wife. you should have had a fun time with me.
Yeah, I don't know. That's tough.
I'm not actually even sure if I could have sex with one of my friends and threesome with a
Yeah, it's
girl.
far too funny.
Yeah.
I think I
I've
would
been doing that across the way.
I think I would be giggling too much for her to be turned on. Just palling around with my boy and be like, you guys are faggots.
I'm just miming and spanking it from behind.
pretending to have sex instead of having sex to do a bit.
Mark's getting his dick sucked, and I'm like, trying to make him. I will say one of the most
He's
fun
just from behind-
things.
You're just hitting from behind and then going behind her ear and just record her.
One of the most fun things about being in a committed relationship during the debauchery of Columbus was I like being able to just interject things that I knew would make Mark laugh and not worrying about the ramifications. Like if I was single and Mark was single, that night would have been, I mean, it would have been a blast, but it would have been, the conversation would have been a nightmare because it would have just been me and Mark being like, yeah, Taurus, I don't know. That's a crazy sign. You don't meet a
trying
lot
to
of
land
them.
the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because Mark was trying, Mark was the lady, but I couldn't and wasn't. Like, it would just be like, hey, like Mark would be like talking to her for like 5 minutes about fucking,
Literally about concerts.
yeah, whatever. Like, and then I just leave with, Mark, what if I danced off into the crowd and then died?
We had a full. I mean, she was sandwiched in the middle of a riff that she could not. She couldn't even get her hands on. Of Eric dancing back into the party and then like going down and then there being like a huge geyser of blood.
Well, I thought this is just a funny concept overall. It's like if you were at a club with a bunch of friends and you just danced off into the group of like where everyone's dancing on the dance floor. You're like, hey man, I'll be right back, and you just dance, and then they just never see you again. That was the night Eric decided to party to the max.
They said we never even saw him come into the club. Also, there's this guy that was really drunk that was like, he leaned over our table and was like, told our waitress, like, I need you to find Spanish guy. I don't know how else to say it. Spanish guy, pink hair. And then she went away and like, yeah, I'll go find him, packed club. And then he tried to jump into the club. Like, we were sitting outside. There was, like, the patio, 3 cops this way. He gave the most, like, he basically looked around just to look at the 3 cops and be like, you oinker's going to do it. And then just put all his stuff down on our table and jumped over. And, took a very slow dismount. And then immediately one cop came over and said, I was staring right at you. He was
Escorted out by, 3 cops.
And then came back around to our table.
He did leave a footprint on the table. I will say, I did feel like he kind of made a bitch out of everybody at the table.
Sure.
I feel like Simon as the man, but also you and then me, somebody should have said, no, don't jump over the table.
Absolutely, being like, because they were like, no, don't do it. And there would have been a moment to puff the chest out and be like, absolutely not, sir. Instead,
and
I
then
put
just
my
get
soda water closer.
Get absolutely decked by a jack tattooed guy in Columbus. But it does feel like kind of a pussy move for him to hop over the table and then get escorted out by 3 cops. And then all of us be like, he fell for our plan to let him get in and then get arrested.
Shows what breaking the law gets you. Gets a one-way trip to the other side of the sidewalk where there's other clubs. Apparently you don't get in trouble for that. They just throw you out. I was like, book him, officer. If he doesn't learn his lesson now, he'll never learn it.
Why don't you take all 4 of us down to the station? We'll put in a statement.
I saw everything.
Any more questions? Should we wrap it up?
That's it. That's it for the horny questions of the week.
Woo.
What's the weather going to be like this week?
There's a question.
Boom.
What are we at time-wise?
106 minutes. Hour 45, 46.
We can make that into 2 episodes, probably. Anybody?
What's 2 episodes worth?
Generally 2 hours would be, but I mean, you could cut 2 45-minute episodes or whatever. It would be. I'll just cut it whenever the questions start. I think we did like an hour, no questions, and then a 40
Yeah, we did about
episode.
52 minute, no questions.
So we can take it to the finish line of 15 more minutes, or is it? What?
I got nowhere to be, but
I do have my brother coming into town tonight, so I gotta wrap up myself.
there you
But
go.
we can,
You want to
keep it running. I can
hang
unplug.
around and we can talk off mic.
What's that?
We can talk off mic.
Yeah.
Ooh. You don't have to go home.
We can
Mark.
go. I was actually kind of craving a taco from that.
I have to be at the Chicago Beat Kitchen, whatever, for their booked open mic sometime past 10 o'clock.
Would you want to go hang at the taco place across the street until you have to go for a
I
minute?
certainly would.
It's a booked open mic?
It's a booked open mic.
Does
Does that mean you
book
sign up, or does that mean they booked you?
No. It means I signed up online, but they pulled 10 names, and they heard, like, this guy's coming in hot from going up first at Don't Tell Columbus. We better get him on the mic.
Nice.
Mark, smell my fingers, McPartland, and coming back into town. Oh, man. I want to know more about that night.
Yeah, that's all off mic. I might have to tell you to cut some stuff. I don't know.
Was there anything?
No.
I was very funny because I had Nick and his British friend on the last one, and his British friend came in with like 4 of the most heinous fuck stories. I mean, he was doing a tour of the United States, and
He's
fucked
like shit outside.
dude. Yeah, he shit on the sidewalk.
Yeah, I was there.
Fucked a squirter. Fucked a
squirter?
Yeah, and not like
Nice.
a squirter like you can make them squirt, but like every time she comes, she squirts.
Yeah.
Wait, are we podcasting or having a regular conversation right now?
This is
Both.
podcast material. I've lost track of this point.
That's what it should be, right?
Reality
It should-
blends,
Yeah, people
yes.
like an actual conversation, I think. But then Mark did a voice in an ethnic accent, and he was like, "Can you cut that?" And then his British was like, "No, you can't cut that. I just fucking told the whole world I let a girl peg whatever, all this crazy shit." And then I text Mark when I'm editing the podcast. I go, "Do you need me to cut anything?" He goes, "Yeah, probably cut that out." I'm like, "I'm not going to cut out the part where afterwards we discuss not cutting it out." So there's just a part of the podcast where it just goes like, "And that's when I said," and then it's 2 seconds of silence, and then it goes, then just 3 minutes of us talking about not cutting that part of the podcast out.
That's way better.
Yeah. I'm deciding to, this is a lo-fi art experiment of a podcast in many ways.
You should throw on, maybe this podcast like syncs up to fucking Dark Side of the Moon or something.
Ooh. play the podcast.
You know-
No. If I've learned anything, it does not sync up to a copyrighted and trademarked song. It can sync up to one of the 60 or 70 free songs that come with my monthly subscription to the editing software that I use.
Do you remember?
So Happy Nights, maybe it syncs up to Happy Nights.
Yeah, Dark Side of the Happy Night.
Do you remember when YouTube used to when every song would get copyright stricken, and like the song that we replace it with was like this techno song that was like open I can't even do it. It was like spacey open air keys, and you're like, ooh, I'm about to hear fucking Akon, whatever Akon's hit was, and I would click it on YouTube, and it would just be this song, and I started to actually kind of like the song.
No, but if you can find the song, I'll put it in this episode as the intro music or the outro.
That actually would. It was like it was always on. Do you remember those era of like music videos where they would do like it was like a blue background and white written scripts, and it would be like Katy Perry waking up in Vegas, and I was like, here we go, and then it would go. And I was like, the damn Suits took the song again. It's fine.
No, but please send me let me get the MP4 for that because that's going to go in this episode.
Stop typing in world's largest penis.
Everyone clear their search histories. Anybody got things to plug?
Things to plug. I've got my own podcast, the Monday Morning Podcast, Morning with a U, because you are alone. It's a comedic grief podcast. Deadparentsclub.rip.
Woo!
Woo! It's more fun than it sounds.
Felt like I should have gotten
More
an
fun than it
invite
sounds,
to that,
baby.
but it's fine.
And I'm Harry_VJJ. More fun than it sounds also.
Steve, anything coming up?
Gotta work tomorrow.
Important.
I got nothing.
You
Marky?
can find me at Mark McPart. You know where to go.
You know what it is?
You know what it is. Hey, guys.
Mark the Spark.
Mark the Spark McPartland. You can find me all around. I'm going to be at the Chicago Open Mic in 52 minutes.
And I'm Eric, and you can find me from the Turnip and Stone page. Good night, everybody.
Good
Thank you.
night.
Another 2 episodes in the little booklets.
Turnip and Stoned.